I'm a huge fan of rhythm games, which I don't hide at all. Just look at all the streams of Osu I did. I always grew up playing Rhythm Heaven on my DS and was never the same since. Point is, rhythm games have always been really important to me and are probably one of my top 3 favorite genres of games. So when Taiko no Tatsujin, or Taiko Drum Master's new game, was coming out for the Switch, I had to jump on it right away. But before that, since many people don't know what Taiko is, I'll summarize the games. Skip to this time to skip all that and jump to how I feel about this game in particular. Taiko Drum Master is a rhythm game where you play a drum to the music. It started out in arcades with huge drums, but was eventually brought to home consoles with small peripherals. The aim of the game is to hit the notes as they overlap the judgment circle. Red is Don and blue is Kat. In most, if not all versions on consoles, every single face button, including the D-pad, was for red, and triggers or shoulder buttons were for blue. It's a very simple game, but can get incredibly difficult like every other rhythm game. Now, without further ado, we can get to the review of Taiko Drum Master Drum N Fun for the Nintendo Switch. As a disclaimer, this video is made before the official English version of the game is out, so I may not understand some of the menus and such. Booting up the game, I can see it's just as, if not more colorful than previous games. From the main menu, we have several options, but let's start with the main meat of the game, which is the free play mode. With up to 2 players, you can play any of the songs you have. There's over 70 songs and more to unlock, and around 20 I've enjoyed, but in the end the music's subjective, so it's up to taste. Here are a few that I really enjoyed listening to. There's lots of really great songs, and as you notice, Jump Up Superstar makes its first Taiko appearance, and it rocks! This game also has music from other games like Pac-Man, Yokai Watch, and Kirby. There's also going to be DLC in the future to expand the library. The only shortcoming I feel in the music department is the Vocaloid section, where there's only 3 songs by default. Overall, I think the soundtrack is on par, if not better than the other titles. I mean, it has How Far I'll Go from Moana, so how bad could it be? Now for gameplay, the buttons are back with lots of control schemes available. Single Joy-Cons work, which is nice as well. Now on to the elephant in the room, motion controls. They aren't the most accurate. This clip from the commercial is a bit misleading. It struggles to recognize the blue notes by hitting from the side. Red notes are pretty good, but there's one really big problem. Lag. The controllers have ever so slight lag when hitting notes, which can throw you off pretty bad. Overall, they're enjoyable for people who like motion controls, but if you like high scores, stick to drum Joy-Con or buttons. Unfortunately, I can't speak for how responsive the drum accessory is, but I imagine it's just as responsive as the buttons. Oh yeah, and there's still one more control scheme left. If you like the DS and 3DS tapping on the bottom screen, rejoice, because that makes a return too, but only in handheld mode. If you choose, you can turn it off in the settings since it's a giant drum on screen. Another thing that this game does is it gives you access to special powers in the form of avatars. They each have their own powers, but I can't tell you what they do except for the drumsticks. The blue notes can be hit like red notes, which is great for beginners. Of course, there's always the original red drum for vanilla gameplay. Moving on, one of the more interesting things is that there's a party mode for up to 4 players. As a disclaimer, I can't read Japanese, so some of these games I had no idea what to do. Although that wasn't actually a problem. These games are really easy to understand, and from what I've played are rhythm-based as well, making them really fit into the game. I definitely could see this as a great addition that I hope continues in the series. The harder version of the minigame becomes unlocked as you win, and new avatars are available for winning as well, giving you an incentive to even play it. Overall, Taiko Drum Master Drum N Fun is a great game for the Switch, and I highly recommend getting it when the English patch comes out on August 9th. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll try to reply to all of the questions. And with that, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and drop a like.